How's it going, guys? So got the Smith Squad XL goggle, which I bought based on price point. I think the retail is like 120. To my knowledge, it's the second largest goggle on the market. I've got a pretty small face, so this is maxed out on the I think the medium maze helmet. Love the field of vision. Comes with 2 lenses. It's definitely more in the value direction opposed to their high-end goggles, the IO series, and I don't know the model you've got. Is it the 07?
I got the IO7s.
IO7, yeah. And but the size, I would say, would be close to the IO-X, I think.
Yes,
big one. It's huge.
It looks big, but it feels small.
Feels great.
Yeah.
Love it. It's got, you know, I think the direction the industry's going is everyone's making these sort of like vintage-inspired blockish goggles.
And it's weird. I've heard it feels small, but I've never heard it looks big, which is kind of a problem. But,
well, I'm in the same boat, so yeah.
But it really does. It's like, and you know what? It's kind of weird though. It's like if we switch here, check this out here. This is one of the things I hate about the IO7 is this quick release sometimes doesn't quite hold, but there you go.
This has no quick release. You got to flex the lens and pop it off there, kind of like the old,
so it's a little
older
difficult.
Oakley goggles. Yeah.
But look at this. You're getting like chroma pop every day, which is just a great lens. And then you're probably getting like the Storm.
You get the Storm with it, which I've used a lot.
You get chroma
here.
pop Storm?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
120 bucks. Awesome
dude,
deal.
That's reasonable. And I have a small head. Again, that's another bad joke. But and it's weird though that this fits my face. I don't feel like
there's no gap
with
at
bigger
all.
Goggles. Yeah, no gap.
And there's no gap here either. But this is like I've got some. Oh, I do have. There's some space
just
over here.
Touch.
A little.
Yeah, but I think the foam comes in. I think with the proper adjustment, you know, like hooking it up.
Right.
I think it would kind of sink in well. And I'm wearing the, what am I wearing? Oh God, I'm brain dead today. But anyways, the Vantage. I don't feel this like, usually with goggles this big, I feel this crushing pressure down on the bridge of my nose from the brim of this. And somehow they're making this work where I only feel a slight bit of pressure like on my nose with the helmet on. And I mean, the field of view is pretty wide. And while I'm happier with my IO7s, I'm so impressed at how such a big goggle can fit such a small space. You know what I mean?
I haven't owned the IO7s. My friends have them. Everyone likes them. But, I don't know. Just having the large goggle on a small helmet.
Yeah, the field of vision just feels like it. Like
I
it
prefer
went like this.
I gotta say, I prefer
it went
the
like
fit.
this to my IO7s like this. You know, I feel like I've lost a little peripheral. Which is, you know, which is always good to have a little more peripheral. You always want to be able to check your 6 a little better and see around. And I think for that price point, it's a great goggle. And
yeah,
this
doesn't have the lens technology that the IO7 has. This has a Gore-Tex, I think it's a Gore-Tex valve, that white dot there.
Oh, okay,
it's some sort of membrane, so it's going to release hot air when it's cold.
Right.
So that doesn't exist on this, clearly.
Well, the ventilation with this, I mean, that's why I run these goggles. The ventilation's superior. I've never had any goggle regulate steam. You know, like I always fog up. And I run a little more on the steamy side, and I always fog up. And I've found that like these goggles are just like almost impossible to fog up unless I've done something stupid. Right. You know what I mean? Like leaving your car overnight or something like that. But these things, they seem like they're regulating. Like you never once, do you have any fog issues?
No fogging, you know, just, I mean, certain elements you can't, any goggles, you know, freezing fog on the lift, anything's gonna get coated with ice.
Yeah.
That I've tried.
Yeah.
Once there's something out there.
Yes.
Maybe the Oakley line miner with the battery pack on it, the heated version.
Yeah, the turbo
I don't know.
things. Yeah, I don't know.
That's no, it's not a fan. It's actually a heating element.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a different.
Okay. Yeah,
thing. But yeah, this goggle's been great so far. I think I got like close to 20 days in it.
Okay.
Variety of conditions. It's
no, and
I would buy a second pair. I would buy a second pair. Yeah.
Yeah, and it matches really well with the Maze, which is a helmet we love too. I mean, that thing is so light.
Love it.
And I love the shape of it too.
Yeah.
If I didn't steam up too much, I'd ride that. But it's
gets
like
a little hot in the spring.
And I know they talk about that you know, that venting where it brings it through and out, but I just haven't felt that.
Right.
Like, I think it works, but when you add all these vents,
those are actual vents.
Yeah, I ventilate a lot easier,
Right.
but we're off topic, but that seems to
Off
be
topic?
happening a lot with us.
Yes.
But these squad, I think they're squads, right?
Squad XL. They make a
Squad
squad
XL.
which is smaller, which I bought by mistake. Too small, even though they do have the oversized appearance. So
what would that be with like Oakley? Would it be like a competitor? 'Cause
this
two
is
of our
close to
favorite
the
goggles-
Line Miner,
Okay.
which is a goggle I definitely want to try.
Not the flight deck?
Flight deck spherical lens. I
Okay,
think,
so it's
right?
it's a big lens, but it's not like that.
Exactly,
It's like,
exactly.
This is more like, yeah. Okay,
Cool.
well there you have it. It's a, you know, Smith, you can't go wrong. You've got, you know, a good fit. The lens selection right now is exceptional. We didn't talk about that, but the Chroma Pop, they're really allowing you to see, where I used to feel Oakley had the advantage in clarity of like features and stuff like that and through the lens, and I thought Smith had the anti-fogging, and the colors were more fun to look through with Smith. They always had those like purples and, you know, like pinks and
Emerald.
yeah, like
Well, Oakley's
fun,
got emerald
like
too, so,
Oakley,
yeah.
but Oakley had like a gray base, so everything
Right.
started gray or brown, and it just wasn't as fun to look through. But the optical clarity was amazing. Now with Smith having, like, bringing out more 3 colors, and Oakley bringing out 2 colors with their prism, I feel like I see more contour of the snow with these now. But they still sometimes have fun colors, like this Chroma Pop Photochromic, and this is the Chroma Pop Everyday, one of my favorite lenses.
This is the
of
everyday
all time.
red. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Everyday Red. What is it? Red.
Not sure.
Orange mirror or something,
Yeah.
red mirror or something like that. But it's just the Everyday, and that thing is just maybe one. It really does match that. And then the Chroma Pop Storm, for me, I've never been into. Something doesn't work with my eyes, but I know people.
I like
who,
it.
Yeah, I know people who swear by it, and I've heard that, you know, depending on the color of your eye and, you know, the way your eyes work, different lenses work better. So for me, I still like the like more of the red sensor, you know, the red sensor Storm.
Haven't used that.
Oh, see, yeah, and I like that better than the Chroma Pop Storm, but so it just depends on you and your eyes, you know. And I just love this Chroma Pop line now. You can get so many good options. You can find almost any lens that's right for you with Smith, and I would say Oakley wins in form-fitting foam. The prism now is super fun to look through. It's like got really cool colors where they used to be all browns and grays and they're super boring. Now it's all these fun colors.
I want to try the rose prism. Heard that's like one lens solution.
All their prism
intentionally,
stuff
so.
is just so fun to look through. However, I felt like there was more clarity and more like contour of snow with the Smith Chroma Pop. But man, Oakley lenses are just something special. So I feel like, you know, for snowboarders, it just really comes down to Oakley or Smith when you're making a decision if you want the best in lenses. Oakley's fog up for me, Smiths don't, so that's why I'm wearing Smiths. But I know so many people who run Oakleys and love them, and the foam on the face, it's just like there's a little tiny gnome in there massaging your face where the foam is. It just
Foam's
feels
great. Customer
Yeah.
service, as far as the company goes, Smith is the best. You can call them up direct, speak to someone who specializes in just goggles. The return policy's good.
Now you email them and they're just like right back.
Yeah.
You know, they don't.
So, kind
Yeah.
of value that.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, for you, it's Smith.
Yeah.
For others, it could be Oakley, but those to us are the two tops. And this is a pretty long review.
Pretty long.
All right.